everyone. In this video, I'll talk about some of my recent watches, my recent 4K Blu-ray purchases, some movies I have on pre-order, and some 4K Blu-rays that are on my radar. So hopefully this is somewhat useful for those looking for their next home theater watch and interested in my thoughts from a home theater perspective, or interested in knowing what's available for pre-order, or just interested in some of what I'm watching in my home theater. Starting with some of my recent watches, Train to Tucson. I first saw this last year late on a streaming services. I liked the movie, but the audio and video was not good. I did like it enough to buy the 4K Blu-ray, and I'm glad I did. It was a huge improvement in presentation. Video-wise, it was not the sharpest of all time, but it has good detail and it's clean. The audio is good. I do think there was a bit of a missed opportunity to add some more atmosphere. It's set on a moving train, and there's plenty of opportunity for some background and atmosphere with the moving train. It's there, but it's very subtle and not very dynamic. I did see it in both dubbed in English and in Korean with subtitles. I recommend the Korean subtitle track. Dubbed tracks always seem disjointed from the movies, and I'm okay with it sometimes, but in this movie, with all the emotion coming from the actors, I thought the dialogue was much better coming straight from those actors and not a voice dubbed in. The Atmos track is also on the Korean track, not on the English dubbed, but I didn't notice a lot coming from the overhead speakers. Overall, audio was just okay. Video was good. Hopefully, I'm not underselling the home theater experience. This is probably the best format to watch this movie, and it's a very good movie, especially if you're a zombie movie fan like me. Kingdom on Netflix. This is not necessarily a new show, but it's new to me, and I'm not sure how it wasn't on my radar sooner. On its face, it's a series about a zombie outbreak. But what's different and great about this show is that with the zombie outbreak playing along parallel to the zombie storyline is a political drama, and that adds so much more to the overall story. It's another element that's pretty central and makes this such an excellent watch, and more than just a gory turn your brain off watch. It's set in early Korea, which is very different from most zombie movies and series that take place in modern day. And I also like the take on how the zombies become zombies. No spoilers, but again, a bit of a different approach, but one that I thought worked pretty well. And these aren't your slow plodding zombies. These are your sprinters, which I like. The video quality of this show is really good. Colors are rich and vibrant. It's as sharp and detailed as any show I've seen streamed. Even the night scenes and dark scenes are done well. While it's dark, I could still see the scene and everything in it, and it looked very natural. Video quality is excellent. Audio is good. It's dubbed in English, so the dialogue, as you might imagine, feels a little disconnected from the rest of the audio, but it's clear and completely audible. All of the other audio is good. Nothing really wowed me, but it's okay. I could pick up some of the atmosphere and background sounds in the rears and the side speakers. It's all just pretty restrained. Some scenes were loud, but I wouldn't say they were especially dynamic. Audio is just okay. The Last of Us. Wow, this is a really good show. Just ripe with deep, emotional, and intense story. It presents very well in my home theater. The production value, as you might imagine for an HBO show like this, is top-notch. Video quality is clean and pretty sharp. Being a dystopian zombie apocalypse kind of series, the visual tone isn't very colorful. It leans dull and gloomy, which complements the tone. The audio is good. Dialogue is clean and clear. When there is action, things definitely liven up. And again, no surprise, when HBO is on, they are on and they make good stuff. This is no exception. This is a fantastic home theater watch. Crawl. This was not a good movie. I don't mind to turn your brain off and don't think, just enjoy your weekend kind of movie, but I was pretty bored watching this. That being said, the audio is actually fantastic, believe it or not. It's very immersive. This isn't a spoiler. Some characters are trapped as a storm is passing through. There's this constant atmosphere with the storm in the background, rain, wind, flowing water. It's all around pretty much constantly. I could hear discrete sounds all over. Pretty good LFE. No Dolby Atmos, but my overhead speakers were pretty active, and visually it was pretty good. Not super sharp, but it looked clean and good detail. But again, The movie itself just wasn't that good. Lockwood & Co., this show leans young adult, but I was into it. It was a very good story and it's entertaining. Video and audio were pretty decent, nothing that blew me away, but it's pretty decent. And again, it's just, it's a really good watch. Alice in Borderland on Netflix. It took a few episodes for me to really like this show. I was really into it from the start, but I needed to get into the series to appreciate the show itself. It's a really good watch. If you're familiar with Squid Games, it's a bit like that because the characters are playing these life or death games. Not nearly as good as Squid Games, but a bit like it. Alice in Wonderland does have one of the best endings of a series I have seen in a while, in my opinion. I was very satisfied with the conclusion of this series. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I watched this on Disney+. I really like the movie itself. Visually, I don't think there was anything great there. It's not bad, just nothing special. Same with the audio. Not bad, just not really that special. Audio via streaming usually tends to leave a little bit to be desired, but again, I thought the movie was just okay. Strange World, it looks fantastic. Super vibrant colors. The animation looks great. It's almost 3D looking. Audio is nothing special. I saw it on Disney+. The movie itself is okay-ish. Some of my recent buys are Chernobyl. I saw this on HBO a while ago. One of the best original limited series I have ever seen. I thought it looked and sounded fantastic on HBO. LFE was surprisingly good. There are a number of scenes that hit really hard. So I'm excited to see how this looks and sounds on a physical 4K disc. Groundhog Day. This is one of my favorite movies ever. Definitely my top 5, maybe top 3. I don't expect to be wowed by this movie from a home theater perspective, but again, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I want to watch it in what I hope is the best format for audio and video quality. Crazy Rich Asians. I saw this last month on a streaming service and absolutely loved it. It was on sale recently, so I went for it. It's a bright, colorful movie. And if I remember correctly, I believe there's some moments where the score and some of the background music is pretty good. So I'm curious to experience the audio and video quality on a 4K disc. Black Adam. Finally got this movie. Saw it on sale this week and jumped on it. I actually liked the movie. It's not my favorite movie. It definitely has its problems, but I did find it entertaining and it's worth the buy to me. Kubo and the Two Strings. I saw this a long time ago. My recollection is pretty vague of the movie, but my kids have assured me that I liked it at the time, so I'm looking forward to seeing this in my home theater in 4K. The Running Man. Saw it on sale. I've never seen the movie, got the Steelbook, and I'm pretty excited to see it. I like a good Arnold movie. Nope. Really like the movie itself. Excited about the video and audio quality. It's a bright movie. Can't remember much about the audio, but I think there's some opportunity for it to be really good as a home theater watch. The Last Starfighter on 4K Blu-ray. This releases in May. I have not yet placed my pre-order, but I am picking this up day one. I remember seeing this when I was a kid, and I loved it. Never saw it in the theater. I actually saw it at home years after it released in the theaters. So I'm ready for a theater experience with one of my childhood favorites. I love a good space movie. It's in 5.1 DTS with Dolby Vision and HDR10. I'm super excited about this movie. The reality is I haven't seen it in years, so hopefully it is as good as I remember. Dawn of the Dead. Really want this movie. Not gonna spend $30 for it, and that's where it's priced right now as of the making of this video. I'm pretty confident the price will come down at some point, and when it does, I'll be all over it. I really like this movie, and I can't wait to get it and see it again. Wrath of Man. Never saw this movie, but it looks interesting. Should be a good, fun weekend watch. It's been out for a while, but I'm going to wait for the next sale on this one. Dragon Slayer. The Steelbook is reasonably priced at the moment. It comes out later in March. Still a bit on the fence about this one, but I'm thinking about it. A few 4K Blu-rays that I currently have on pre-order. Deep Impact. This is an absolute no-brainer for me. It comes out in May, and I'm getting it. I saw it as a kid, loved it, loved seeing it in the theater, never thought I'd see it again in the theater. but I'm looking forward to it. It's a must get for me. Dolby Vision, even though my projector doesn't support Dolby Vision, Dolby Audio, I'm a believer that a good world level disaster movie often makes for a good home theater watch. So it's an opportunity that I hope is done very well. Brotherhood of the Wolf, another May release and another must buy for me. It's not the best movie ever made, but this came out in the early 2000s and I remember seeing this and really liking it. And it's actually loosely based, very loosely based on a true story, which makes it even more interesting and just wild to think about. The Core, really excited about this movie. Like I said earlier, I like a good disaster and I'm hoping it translates to a good home theater watch. It is the kind of movie that you turn your brain off and just enjoy the silliness and absurdity of it all. Air Force One, this is a late 90s action movie through and through, and it's very good. It's intense, thrilling, good twists, and the story really moves. I haven't seen it in years, so I hope it's as good as I remember.